The Acadians were a group of settlers who arrived in North America in the mid-16th century. They were predominantly French, though they did incorporate English immigrants. Though they originated as French settlers, they held no particular loyalties towards the French or English governments and often attempted to remain neutral when the two empires came into conflict. The Acadian settlements did intrude on indigenous lands, but relationships were overall friendlier between them than between other European settlers and the indigenous North Americans. In particular, the Acadians formed strong ties with the Mi'kmaq. Intermarriage and a mixing of cultures occurred frequently. Acadians were primarily Catholic, had large families, and low childhood mortality. They had a thriving economic livelihood, and their buildings, which they often made themselves, were mostly made of wood. They were largely rural, with each family normally having their own farmland. Ownership of this land was very important and often denoted social status. They enjoyed an Acadian golden age until 1755, when the British deported and displaced the majority of the Acadian population in a mass expulsion called La Grande Arrangement. A large number of Acadians ended up in Spanish Louisiana, where they became known as the Cajuns. The Acadians were eventually allowed back in 1764, but the returning population found that the British had seized their lands. After their exile, the Acadians in the Canadian Maritimes began a campaign to create their own national identity. Their identity focused on the French language and Catholic religion. They selected Mary Star of the Sea as their patron, and chose the Gregorian Catholic hymn Ave Numeris Stella as their national anthem. They even selected their own flag. To this day, Acadians have a strong identity, especially in the maritime provinces of Canada.